talked about the density of being here on the planet, and all of you here feel, oh yes, I have moved through and let go of so much of the lies, and all that I see in the world is not true, and yet there is so much more that is still oppressing you because you are in physical form. Now, this is not to be concerned about, but just to know that there are many more layers and many more things to pop out of and move through. So by you claiming your authentic self, by you taking those brave, courageous steps into healing, into changing, into letting go, into places that feel like maybe too painful, maybe too difficult, maybe much easier to go over here where there's happiness, where I can go swimming in the pool, where I can just forget all my worries, or over here where I can get lost in my work, where I can focus on something that is not joy, not love. Now, joy and love is what you have come to experience through the human body, through the physical body, which is a very great gift that many humans do not appreciate. So we would say, first and foremost, to appreciate your human body, the physicality. When you leave this body, you will wish to be back again. So you have come here, so savor every moment of every physicality. Now, within that physicality, you are also fighting is not a good word, but you are seeking to break out of the patterns that are so dense in the collective consciousness on the planet right now. And each of your jobs is to simply allow yourself to be your authentic self, allow yourself to be in joy, to interact with those that you meet in a kind and loving way, which, by the way, can change another person's life that you'll never know. A smile or an acknowledgement of another human being goes very far. So instead of getting so busy or caught up in your life where you're not really paying attention to what's happening with other humans, you can affect so much change. And have compassion for those that do not understand, that do not yet know how much they are, we would say, like hypnotized in a way to believe the things that you are taught. That it is a belief that you need to eat and drink. That is kind of a crazy idea because your body's physically craved to eat and drink, but it is a belief. And that is a far-fetched idea. We're not telling you to stop eating and drinking, but to just contemplate that what you believe to be true may not necessarily be true. And that is a far-fetched one because many of you would not be happy with that one. But all of these are beliefs that have been brought into the planet, into this, we want to say almost like a simulation, like an experiment, to see what it would be like if humans could be formed into bodies and be taught certain ways of doing, this is the way you do it, you stay in this box, you stay in this way, you do this, you do this, you do this, you do this, then you die. Yes. And there is much joy in some of this. There is much joy in family and friends and love, and there's ups and downs, and this is all that you came to experience today. But that there is much more, and to start noticing, where did that belief come from? Why do I think it has to be this way? And everybody here is working on this. Everybody here is at a place, at different places in their life where they're starting to notice that you've let go of a lot of things. You've let go of maybe this narrative isn't true. Well, I'm not going to listen to that anymore. And that brings you further and further into really seeing how much of this is just like a program. Now, that can sound very scary and ominous, and we're not trying to scare you, but we're trying to tell you that your minds are brilliant and can break through these barriers one by one by looking at it and deciding, well, why do we do things this certain way? Does it work? Is this the best way that it works? Is there another way? And that's where your mind can go, and you're in coordination with your hearts to create a new way. And this is where you are all very gifted with this innovation. Now, this is not to say that you're going to go have a great discovery and change everything. It's sort of like experimenting. What if I did it this way this time? What if I, didn't eat that same thing every day that I believe my body wants? What if I drove a different way to work? Those are such little things. So in other words, we're also saying, like, quit being robotic. Quit just being lazy and going in the robot mode. Like, move out of that. Notice where you are robotic. Notice where you are just doing the same thing over and over, and you don't even notice that you're doing it. Then they may be very good habits. We're not saying that they're not. But can you really spend a few minutes enjoying brushing your teeth? Really being with your toothbrush and your toothpaste and enjoying the taste, the smell, the motion, the moment. And that is really what the richness of a physical life is about, is really being in the physical and enjoying that. And then perhaps the next time you brush your teeth in the opposite direction, just to see what that feels like. And we are giving you little ideas, little examples that seem to mean nothing, but can shift so much in your mind opening of accepting. When you start to maybe change a habit, a good habit perhaps, and look at it in a different way and enjoy it in a different way, or experiment with a different way, and then it begins to open your mind to so many other ways that you have created your life following the rules, so to speak, following the unspoken rules, the things that humans will go on automatic pilot. And so this is what we would like to speak to you all about today, because you are all working on this. You are all working on this in various ways of testing, but we want you to pay more attention to the very details. When you are in the brushing your teeth, in the enjoying that, you are in the moment. You are feeling it. You cannot be in the future or in the past while very, very mindfully brushing your teeth. So that is just an example. There are many ways that you can do this, but what we are saying is to experiment. What would it feel like if I did this differently? How would that change? And what we will say to you today is there is a chain reaction, so to speak. Once you start shifting, things will start to shift. And keep paying attention to this. Keep paying attention of little things that keep shifting. Sometimes it'll just be suddenly you don't feel so angry about road rage or traffic or things like this. you decide to go another way, just to take a longer route. Take longer to get to work. See what you can see in other places when you change and shift and not just go on automatic pilot. You will notice things. You will see things. You will have opportunities. You have opportunities to shift your consciousness in ways that will work its way out to being bigger and broader. And let's see where we can do it in small ways. And when you can begin to do it in small ways, you will take giant steps in other ways. And know that that is the greatest gift of all, that humans can have the courage to step out and do something maybe that no one has ever done, or in a way that is new for them, that allows them to open up so much more. So what it is we are speaking about is the density of fear, because that is the controlling factor on the planet. And so there is not a battle to be fought here. It's more like you have chosen to come here to learn this, to unlearn, to know what it's like to be out. This is very much why when you come into a body, for the first few years, you have many memories. You know who you are. And you cannot verbalize it often, but you have memories, and you can't remember these times because you were so small. Some of you have flashes. Some of you remember even your birth when you were born. And maybe you have memories of feelings or even pictures and deny them. But we are telling you that these memories are real for you, okay? So you do have memories of very early on. You come into this life, and then it is like a veil that comes upon you that helps you to forget so that you can remember, so that you can wake up again. And so there are things that you are already awoken to at that point, such as talent, personality, a love of perhaps art or nature, a natural, like this is where I feel more comfortable as a child. Yes. So then you resonate in those places, and hopefully you are surrounded by people that support that. But many of you have brought people into your lives that did not support that. And so you had to have the courage to overcome the lack of support and still be your authentic self. And so we honor you and respect you and bow to you for the courage of stepping out of so much of the mess that you created, is a true word, but also that you decided was okay. You chose to come into, to overcome. And when you overcome these things, it is a great triumph. It is a great peace. There is a great ease in it. And then you go back and you remember, sometimes you step 2 steps forward and 1 step back, and there's that old pattern again, and you've got to step forward again and be a little more courageous again. And it gets exhausting. We know this. Then you rest and you take care of yourself around this. So this is primarily the message that we wanted to bring to this group today, that it is time for you to really, really dig in to experimenting with change. Many humans resist change. They resist pain. They resist anything that they don't know out of fear. And we understand this, but you have come here to overcome the fear. And there have been many wise teachers, ascended masters throughout history of humanity that have taught this in many different forms and different words, and it is the same message. So there is nothing new that we are teaching you today or that we are showing you today. We are just reminding you. Humans must be reminded over and over and over again, because you have very good forgetters, and that's okay. But because you want to draw the lesson back to you, you want to go deeper with it. And all of you here have done something that much of humanity is still stuck in, and that is circular patterns of repeating over and over and thinking that they're getting somewhere, and they just keep circulating back into the past. They want to try to figure out, they're looping, we would say. They're looping their life. And all of you have broken out of this loop. Now what do? Now you test the waters. Now you make some brave choices. Make big mistakes. These are the best lessons of all. Make big mistakes. Risk that. Yes, it may hurt your pride and your ego, and you'll get over that, but you will learn much more deeply of mostly to love yourself through making mistakes. This is the true way of moving through that pattern. Take a little time out of the day to do this, to really focus on bringing your frequency up, because it will become more and more comfortable. And you want to experience this. And as you are bringing your frequency up and you're letting go of the mind, and you're drifting and floating and allowing yourself, this can be through meditation, this can be through breath work, this can be through mantra, it can be through many modalities, it can be through the sound, whatever resonates with you, to allow yourself to spend even a few minutes a day. And we would say many times a day would be better, but you're beginning to practice this. This will help with anxiety and emotional states that no longer serve those that are here. And we would also say that when you begin or continue to practice this, you are creating higher frequencies from which you can move freely about, connecting with your multidimensional selves so that you can be, we would say, in all places at once. That is very hard for a human mind to grasp, but it is a feeling. It is a vibration. It is a frequency. And you will know it when it comes upon you at times, when normally you may feel stressed, in a store or in a crowd or in a place, but you will be able to raise your frequency higher. And what you will notice is that you are helping others. You are modeling behavior to raise the vibration of others in the place. But you are not doing this for them. You are doing this for you, because your best teaching is to do it by modeling it. And they will notice on some level. And it's not for you to be concerned how or why, but it will make you feel better. You cannot teach something. You cannot teach something that you don't know. So the more that you practice these things and the things we spoke of earlier, the mindfulness, the way to really engage your life and bringing your frequency up, the more that this will spread. And it is an exponential spread. You're spreading it to others who are spreading it to others. This is the way that humanity is ascending. It is not an ascension coming from above. It is coming from you. We would like to say that again. This is not an ascension coming from above. It is coming from you. You are all a part of the earth. The earth is ascending. You're going along with the ride for the most part with that, but it is a choice. So you are doing the ascending. And that is a very powerful thing to say. So when you see things and you read things, and when are we going to be in the 5 dimension, in the 5D? When are we going to ascend? And many are waiting around. Let them wait around, but just go ahead and ascend. Keep working on it. And then you will bring those with you, because they will start to vibrate with you. They will start to feel and see what you are doing, what you are feeling and seeing, and they will want that.